Hello everyone, I'm Captain Kristen Eberdee, here to guide you through the FuelEU Maritime Regulation, Regulation EU 2023-1805. Today we'll tackle the basics in a Q&A style. Let's dive in. What's the FuelEU Maritime Regulation all about? It's a cornerstone EU law from September 13, 2023, pushing maritime transport towards sustainability. Its big goal? Full decarbonization of the sector by 2050. It applies uniformly to commercial ships over 5,000 gross tons calling at EU ports, ensuring a level playing field for shipping companies, port authorities, fuel suppliers, and more. What are the primary obligations for ships? There are two core duties. First, ships must reduce the yearly average greenhouse gas, or GHG, intensity of energy used on board, starting with a 2% cut in 2025, stepping up to 80% by 2050 in 5-year increments. Second, from 2030, container ships and passenger ships must use onshore power supply, or OPS, or zero-emission tech at berth in key EU ports, expanding to all OPS-equipped ports by 2035. What timelines should companies watch? By August 31, 2024, submit a monitoring plan for each ship. From January 1, 2025, record data like port arrivals, fuel use, and OPS connections. Then, by January 31 each year, send a FuelEU report to a verifier. It's a tight schedule to keep ships on track. Who's responsible for compliance? That's the company, the entity managing the ship under the International Safety Management Code. It could be the shipowner or another organization they've delegated to. Either way, they're the ones ensuring FuelEU rules are followed. How does FuelEU link to the EU Emissions Trading System, or ETS? They're complementary. ETS makes companies buy allowances for CO2 emissions, capping total emissions across industries. FuelEU sets GHG intensity limits, pushing for low-carbon fuels and OPS. Together, they hit emissions from both ends, pricing and performance. Which ships are in scope? All commercial vessels over 5,000 gross tons carrying cargo or passengers, regardless of flag. Exemptions include warships, fish processing ships, and non-mechanical or government vessels. Most working ships, though, are covered. How are voyages treated differently? Intra-EU voyages count 100% of energy used. International voyages, or those to outermost regions, like the Canary Islands, count half. It balances global fairness with EU goals. That's your intro to FuelEU. 7 questions to get us started on this green journey. Next time, we'll explore scope and exemptions. This is Captain Kristen. I wish you calm seas ahead. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.